Good morning and welcome everybody. My name is Michael Nelson. I'm the owner of TLC Tech, and today we are going to be talking about Microsoft Stream. Okay, so everybody should be seeing my screen, which has the Office 365 splash screen. Would somebody real quick just pop in the question that that you can see my screen? I was like verifying that you can see the right screen. You should see the good morning and the Office 365 splash screen where we start all of our items. Mike, if you'd pop that in for me, that'd be super awesome. Let me know that you can see the right screen. Okay, so Microsoft Stream, in the description that I put in here, is basically kind of an internal YouTube, as it were. It's your own video channel inside. It can be used in a lot of different ways. And that is one thing that you need to keep in mind is Stream is meant for internal use only. You cannot currently invite outside people into seeing things inside your Stream channel. And we're going to talk about channels and groups and how and different things you can do with video. Right now, you can only have internal people in your organization have access to it. If you do need to take a video that you've recorded in Stream and share it with people on the outside, all you have to do is download it, move it over into your SharePoint or OneDrive, and then you can do it that way. So without further ado, I'm going to open up Microsoft Stream. So I'm going to start with anything that you record in Office 365 is going to be saved in Stream. So when you record meetings, when you have a Teams meeting and you click the record button, that will automatically save that video into Streams, and I'll show you where that happens. And by the way, you have to click to record it when you are doing a meeting that you set up in Teams, because that'll pop up a little broadcast saying this meeting's being recorded to your attendees. If you create a meeting and assign it to a channel, it will automatically do the recording and embed it in that channel for future people, because it's kind of meant, if you go back to Teams, and we'll jump over to that later in the broadcast, when you're using Microsoft Teams, it's assuming that you want that video. If you've assigned that meeting inside of a channel, it's assuming that you want everybody to be able to have access to that meeting. So there we are, and we're going to start with the overview. So when you go into Stream, you've got your home, which is going to take you to this page. You've got a couple of training things right here, create a live event, how to securely upload, how to find content, channels and groups. I'm going to go over all of this with the exception of creating a live event. That's kind of a whole thing on its own. You'll see my watch list. We're going to talk about how you get that. Trending videos, those are just videos that more people have watched. Popular channels, that's based upon how many people visit them. So this is basically the first page that you log into in Stream. This will also have the splash screen here that you can flip through and see different videos that you've watched. What I'm going to do is, so right here it says invite your coworkers. I'm going to get rid of that. And again, this learn how to use Stream. I don't need to see this anymore. So I'm going to say don't show that again. Now, every time that I come back, I will have my watch list, my trending videos. When I was kind of getting ready to do the overview of this course, it was kind of interesting because there's, it should be very, very simple. There's videos. You just create videos. And at its base, that's absolutely what Stream is, but there's so many different ways you can organize how people have access to those videos. And that's what makes Stream really creative. So if you go on Discover, you see that you have videos, channels, peoples, and groups. Those are the four main things that you need to remember about Stream. Videos are going to be all videos that you have access to. And it'll just keep going with everything that you have access to, who created them, who's the owner of them. Now what's funny is this is a video that was actually a training video that I did that was filmed with one of these large video cameras, and it was sent to me electronically. Lisa uploaded it into Streams, and so she's the owner of that video. I'll talk a little bit later about how we assign that into a particular channel. So videos are all the videos you have access to, and you can search for videos inside. So I just want to see the ones that have Michael. So these are going to be all the ones I own. And if you notice, it also right here shows me anytime in that video that the word Michael was said. So if I click on that, that's going to jump me to that video at that timestamp in the video. So this is really, really cool if you're recording meetings inside of your organization, especially like staff meetings, or if you're having, for us, we do EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, which is a way of managing your company. We have regular leadership meetings every week, and then once a quarter we do our quarterly planning meetings. We record those meetings because they're typically 4 hours long, and sometimes you forget what was said, and it's like, hey, didn't we talk about, and then we can go back and literally search inside the video for a phrase or a keyword that we said in that meeting. So there's some real power with being able to search the videos this way. So that's quick and dirty on the videos. Then also under Discover, if you notice, these videos, channels, people, and groups line up over here. So once you go into one of the sub-discoveries, you can get to the other areas here. Channels are another way of organizing videos. So think of this, it's kind of like a YouTube channel. You can decide a topic. So in your organization, you might have SOP, so standard operating procedures. We've got, I know Lisa has created some videos on how to do certain things in our company. She could create an SOP channel. You might have a new employee onboarding channel. You might have HR, different things. If you've got things, one of the things I'm going to show you is creating videos. And one of the things you can do is you can do a record screen. The beauty of that is that if you're training somebody and you keep training employees over and over, or new employees or onboarding, the next time you do it online through Teams, or the other way I'm going to show you on doing a record screen. And then you've got this video already created. You can put that into the correct channel, and anytime you've got a new employee onboarding or somebody needs to learn that particular feature, you don't have to take the time to go do it. You can show them how to do it, record it, and I'll show you on one of the ones I set up how you can actually quiz them afterwards to see if they retained and understood what you were training them on in the video. Then you have people, and these are, again, just people inside of your organization. I'll do a search for Lisa. This is going to be, so it'll show you all the Lisas. We only have one. And then it'll show all of the videos that are assigned, that she owns, that I have access to, by the way. If she has a video that I don't have access to, I would not be able to see it on this. So I will go back to Discover, and then finally we have groups. And for those of you that have been doing this long enough with me, if you notice the groups, I'm going to bring over my teams. Leadership, community, that's actually hidden. TLC Tech, all staff. Sales and marketing is over here. TLC party planning is hidden. I don't use that one. CIE team is there. Partner corner, there's no video around that, so, and I haven't added that as a team. And then we have sales. So as you see, and I can see more, so these are all of the groups. These are groups that we have inside of Office 365. And remember, groups carry across everything in the ecosystem, inside of the Office 365 ecosystem. So you want to be careful about creating groups. It's the same thing back when we were talking about teams, that you want to think intelligently about how you're going to create teams, because it creates a group at the same time. And what you don't want to end up with is 100 different groups in your organization. It's the old, most of you are partners of ours, and you have the network drive, the S drive, and everybody complains about the same thing, that it's messy, that people create too many folders, that it's not well organized. Same thing applies here. You want to make sure that you're keeping it clean and organized. So you want to be work with us, work with your IT liaison inside of your company to make sure that you're not creating too many groups. So basically, that's the quick and dirty overview of discovering. Again, videos, channels, peoples, and groups. Videos are what you have access to. Channels are a way to organize certain videos. Groups are how you say who has access to certain videos. And then people are where you can see videos that are assigned or owned by particular people. So the next one that you'll see is my content. And the difference is my content is everything that I have access to. So these are all of my videos. Again, whether I've done them or not, we're going to come back to this, but you'll notice right here, the publish button. Right here, the green that means this is visible to the organization. The yellow, when you mouse over it, it's a visible to private. This is our L10 meeting, which is our leadership meeting. That's only visible to the leadership group. And I'll show you how you can put those restrictions on that. So my content is the stuff you've created, you've uploaded, or you've somehow been involved with. So these are the videos. These are the groups that I am a member of. These are channels that I have access to. Here's an interesting one. These are meetings that I recorded inside of Teams. So that's an easy way also for you to be able to find things that are said there. I'll go ahead and do the search here as well for Michael. And again, this is going to be when it's going to show up where Michael is. That's another way to be able to see. You can search deeper. But these are ones that were set up as meetings inside of Teams and recorded. You can do your watch list. It's a simple thing to do. I'll show that once we dig into the videos. These are channels that I'm following. It's very easy. All you have to do is click follow or unfollow. Let me do that real quick. If I go back to channels here, sales, I'm going to say follow. Now when I go back to my content, follow channels, it shows up here. Same kind of thing. If any of you use YouTube, it works the same way. And then a recycle bin is just what you would think. It's stuff that's been deleted, and I haven't deleted anything there. So again, the discover is that's the corporate wide in your organization. My content are things that are directly related to me. Okay, so pop question anytime. So I'm going to jump into creating videos. So we're going to talk about the videos. What I'm going to do next, we're going to talk about how you create videos. Then we're going to go into managing them, modifying them, changing things about them. I'm going to show you some cool things that you can do, and then we're going to show how you can organize the videos. So that's the approach I'm going to take today. So creating videos, the easiest way is to just do a Teams meeting. I'll bring up my Teams. I'm going to do let me see, I could do a meet now. I'll do a schedule a meeting, test for webinar. I'm not going to require anybody. I'm going to start that at 10. It's in the sales and marketing webinar. I have to send it. And then in just a second, once it's processed it, it will let me actually start the meeting. So I'm going to join and join now. So now if there were another person on the other end of the line, right here, more actions, and I'm going to start recording. So this one's being recorded. You can tell right here because it just popped up, says you're recording. I'll go ahead and dismiss this. If there were other people in the channel, everything would be, you'd be able to see the other person as well. I'm going to go ahead and leave the meeting. Close that up. And then you're going to see right here is that the meeting, it started, it stopped, it's saving the recordings to Microsoft Stream. So it'll also embed itself into here. So it takes a second for it to show up, but I'm going to go into meetings. And you can see that it's processing right now. So that automatically showed up and it's doing the processing. What it has to do in the processing is it needs to render it, but then it also does the transcript. Any video that you put into here that's in a recognizable language, you can actually go in and get a transcript from it. So that's probably the easiest way to do it is inside of a Teams meeting. So you can see it already did the recording, and I'll jump in. You'll see the being recorded. Oops, sorry, let me stop that. You'll see the interactivity. That's if you want to add a form. I'll show you that later. But you may notice that something is missing, and over here it's the transcript. The reason being is I've got to tell it that the language is actually in English. I'm going to jump back to that again later today, but now you're going to see that it's actually starting to create the transcript. That's one of the really, really powerful things about this. So I'll come back to that. So again, go back to my videos, my content. I can upload files. So if I want to, I can drag files right to here. Now, okay, so right here, I've got some videos right here. I'm just going to go ahead and drag Planner. I'm going to move this over to the other screen so you can see. All I have to do is grab Planner, drag files there, bam. Now it's starting to upload. I've got the name for it. I can give a description. It's in English. You can tell it's at 3% uploading. I've got permissions here. Right now, this is going to say everybody in my company has the ability to view it. And then I have other options. I can have comments turned on or off. I can suppress noise, auto-generate captions, and subtitles. So if you wanted to do I'm not going to show you how to do it today. It's pretty advanced. But if you have a English speaking meeting and you wanted to have Spanish subtitles for an option that they could toggle between English or Spanish, you would upload the subtitle file there. So that is recording it in Teams. This is uploading. And again, once you've uploaded it and you go into videos, this just says it's still being uploaded. That's fine. You'll see that it's still in the process of uploading. But once you do upload, it doesn't show up for anybody else until it's actually been published. So right now it's showing that it's in draft. I can go ahead and publish this. And once this one gets uploaded, I'll have to do the same thing as well. So I'm going to go into so let me show you one other thing here. So this one, even though it's not published, I'm going to click into the video. It'll start playing for me, but I'm going to go into the ellipses and I'm going to go into the video details. In here is where I can give it the name. I can give it a description. I say what language. I can say who has access to it. I can also assign a channel. So let's say I wanted to put this, it's already part of webinars. Let's say that I wanted to put this in sales. So there's my sales and marketing channel. So I've now added it. It's in sales and it's in the webinars. I'm not going to allow comments on that. I do want auto-generated captions and I'm going to apply that. Now, the reason that I show you all of this is because that still has not yet been published. So again, this is the Microsoft Tasks and To-Dos. And if I go into Discover, I go into the channels. Again, remember I put that into sales and marketing, but it's not in there yet because I've not published it. So now I'm going to go back in. There's a couple of different ways I can do this. I can get into the video details, publish it here, or I can go into my content videos and I can publish it here. Now, the minute I do that, because I have already tagged it, once I reload the screen, now I have the two videos. So you can get everything, you can upload a video, you can do everything you want to it, get it fully functioning, then you can go and publish it so that it becomes live. So you can basically take care of all the security, all of the back-end stuff beforehand, and then publish it once you get live. So Had a question from Anne. You recorded these Teams trainings. They are available on your website. Where are they on streams? Okay, so good question, Anne. So I'm actually using GoToWebinar to record these webinars. I could use Teams, quite honestly. GoToWebinar with the registration and the reminders and the follow-up is just, Teams doesn't have that. So I decided to use GoToWebinar. The way that I actually got these into Stream is I downloaded them from GoToWebinar, and using the upload, or I can just do a select and it'll go and I can navigate for them that way. I uploaded them into Stream and then made them available. So anything you record inside of the Office 365 ecosystem, be it through Teams, a Teams meeting, or using Stream to record your screen, they will automatically show up in Stream. That's just automated. If you use, like I'm doing today, GoToWebinar, and it's being recorded by a different service, all you have to do is download that, and then you can upload it into Streams, and you get the same thing. They are also available on my website, mainly because that's a way that anybody that's not on this can easily go find them. And to be perfectly honest, it's also potentially picking up new partners because they see how we do things and how we support our existing partners. So if that doesn't answer your question, Anne, let me know. Let me see next. Okay, so I published it so you see how that happens. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a record screen. So let me see here. I'm going to create, and right here under create, I can upload a video, I can create a group, I can create a channel, or I can do record screen. When that pops up, it says by continuing to agree, your features comply with the terms, you have the necessary rights and permissions, your video will not violate copyright. That'll come up every single time. It's fine. You can just X out of that. Now, when you click record screen, it's going to ask which screen do you want to record. I can record either screen, and you notice, you don't see it yet, but if you notice, I now have a video coming up on my screen. The one thing that the caveat I'll give you is that if I choose screen 2, which is the screen that you're seeing, and this record window is on that screen, you're recording the recording video window. It's kind of weird. So you want to make sure that you start this in a different if you're doing it that way, you would want to record in a different screen. I would typically do screen 1 because you all can't see both of my screens. I'm going to go ahead and record real quick with this video in the way anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and share it with, because I have to share it with. Now it's giving me my countdown. Okay, we are now recording. It's recording everything I'm doing. You can see my little, this is me live down in the corner. You can move that anywhere you want. Once you're done. So again, if I were doing, and I was explaining, okay, when you launch a Word document, you say, okay, then you can start typing, and then when you're ready to save it, make sure you save it to OneDrive, give it a name, webinar show off, save it, and then once we've done that, so this is if you're doing something of a training type where you want people to see things, close that out. Now I'm going to say, okay, great, I'm done with the recording. In the recording, click on next, and then all I have to do is upload to stream. Now this is the one place that you do have to say yes, upload to stream, because you'll notice right here, it lets you play it to see whether you like it. And trust me, the first few times you do videos, you're going to hate them. It's still very odd getting used to seeing myself on screens like this, but I've kind of gotten over it because of the webinars. But you could record again, or you can say, okay, upload stream. And basically what that's saying is, I'm good, go ahead and save it. We're gonna call this webinar show off. If I wanted to give it a description, what language, I don't want everybody to be able to view this one yet. And you notice it's already uploading it. And then I just say, save the video file, save, bam. So now that's downloading it. And right now you notice because it now got through everything, it's now giving me the ability to publish it. So I'm going to go ahead and publish that, and then I can go to the video. It automatically, so it's being processed. So it still won't let me see it. But again, if I go into my content and I go into videos, you're going to see it right here processing. Here's the one that I had uploaded. It's ready to be published. This one's processing. So any questions on using record screen? I think that's one of the more powerful pieces of this, especially if you want to do training videos. So right now you'll see that this processed. I'm going to go ahead and click into it. Let me stop that. You'll notice right here that it has not yet given me the transcript. Let's go verify that indeed it knew. Yeah, it didn't keep for some reason the English language. So I'm going to do that, apply it, and now it's going through and it's doing the transcript. So it's now going through and it's reading, it's translating all of the audio into a transcript. It doesn't take a huge long amount of time. Probably it'll take 2-3 minutes for it to show up in there. Alrighty, any questions so far on uploading, creating, doing a meeting inside of Teams, or creating it's called record screen? Okay, no questions there. So let me do a reload, see if it caught the transcript yet. No, it's still my countdown. Okay, it's still taking a little longer than expected. Okay, so we could come back to that. But I can go in here, and the next part now is I want to go in and show you how to manipulate and change videos. So once you're in here, again, the 3 ellipses, I can see what channels it's been linked to. Nothing's been linked yet. I can do the ellipses and I can add it to a group or channel. I can do it, I can give people permission, I can give a group permission, or I can add it to a channel. I'm going to go ahead and do this to the webinar. Oh, okay, good. This brings up a really interesting issue. Let me jump over here for a second and go into channels and the webinars. So if I click into the webinars, this is available to everyone. You can see in here, let me click on here. So I can follow it, but when we created this, it is available and accessible to everybody in the company. Right here, it's saying it's a company-wide channel. It can be accessed by everyone in the company. So by virtue of saying that not everybody can have access to it, I cannot put it in a channel that everybody has access to. Does that make sense? This is one of the oddities, but this is how they deal with security. So what I have to do is I have to go in and update the video, and I have to say that it's available to everybody in the company. Again, let me back up a second. Go into the go into the ellipses, add it to a group or channel, and I'm trying to add it to the webinars channel. Could not be found because, again, I've limited who has access to this video, so by default, it's not going to give me the ability to put it in that channel. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to edit the video details. I'm going to allow everybody. I'm going to apply that. I'm going to go back to the update video details. Oops, sorry, wrong place. Going to go into add to a group or channel. I want this to go into now, webinars, have to be able to type correctly, and now it is accessible and I can now add it to that channel. So again, it will not let you add into a channel that has more permissions than what you've said is available for the security of that. And I'm not saying that very well. If I added it to a group first and said I wanted to add this to, let's say, L10, so it'll give me my leadership group or I can add it there. So that would display it inside of that group. So you can have it be, in a channel and a group, but you can't put it in a channel that has more permissions if you've limited it. And again, the way that you limit it is in here, going into the video details, taking away everybody has permission to view this video. Then you can do, if I do that, yes, I'm going to remove the company-wide access. You notice that it just took that away. Now I could go in and say, okay, I want to share this with my leadership group. It'll pull up here, say yes, give it to that one. And then let's say I also wanted to do it with my projects group. I could give it inside of projects. Now those people would have access to it. So you can kind of be very specific about who does have access to certain things. Again, if you do allow access for everyone, that just overwrites and will make it accessible to everybody in the company. Any questions on the security of that? Okay, again, questions, feel free to pop up and ask questions anytime. Okay, so you can see inside, you go into the ellipses, you can see what it's been linked to easily this way, who has access to it. Now I'm going to show you kind of a cool thing is trimming a video. So I'm going to go back to my content. I recorded one last night and it got really weird on me. You'll see right here.
This one's being recorded.
So it got, there was one that it got really janky on the screen for me. That's not the correct, oh, that's the one I just did, sorry. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, I'm gonna mute that one. So,
okay, I am doing
let me mute. I don't like that. And so that video, it's just weird and it got weird. So I need to work on that video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim it and it comes up and it gives you all of the screens right here. You can see that this kind of got weird on second 1 through 7. So all I have to do is go here and here, and I can trim that. So it's really easy to go ahead and trim out parts of the video. So I'll just go ahead and trim out the things, apply that, continue. It's telling me that, hey, you're going to lose this if you don't want it. So it's now being trimmed.
Okay,
and I'll talk about the subtitles in a second. So again, it's got to trim it. Let me go ahead and do the refresh, see if it's done it yet. Not yet. So again, it will take a couple of minutes to do that. But that's how you can trim a video. I'll jump back to that if you want. Let me see, and then updating the videos. So again, I can go into the video, go to update video details. I can change the name. I can add a description. I can also do the language. Let me show you something here that is really, so let me see if this one is ready yet. Yeah, we've got the transcript here. So I can go in and say, I want to see the captions.
Okay,
so now it's going to just give me the captions of everything that has been said. Now you'll see that as it's going live, it's also scrolling down here, and it's just all it's doing is it's giving us the transcript of this video. You have control over the size of that under your settings. You can do captions, subtitles, settings. I made it large. You can do it, change the background color, make it there, do transparency so that I actually just say, so it's on top of the video. So there's several different ways you can do that. One of the other things, if you've got Spanish speaking or people of other languages, let me go into my video and I'll get your question answered in just a second. I went to school in France when I was in college, and I had to try this. So I said, turn on the titles. Let me see, why is that not giving me the subtitles? Captions, so turn them auto captioning. So it actually, so I did a quick little video in French and it actually picked up, and I speak very, very rough French these days, and it was actually able to pick up and translate my French as well. So if you have different languages that you want to have this recorded in, it can also do the translation on other languages as well. And you can see the amount of options that you have here is pretty long. So, and you had a question, have you ever had permissions to upload another company's video that you found useful for your company? That's actually a really good question. So, so let's do this. I mean, so for those of you that are wanting to take this back into your organization, you could ask me to share this video with you. I'd put it into my OneDrive, share it with you that way. You could download it, then you could upload it into your streams channel, and that could be a way that you could get people starting to use it in your organization. Rich, you've asked, can it translate to another language? No, I tried that. I was hoping it would work, but no, it doesn't translate on the fly that way. Microsoft is doing some things in, I haven't seen it go live yet, but I did see it demoed once, that it was inside of a Teams meeting. It was translating pretty much on the fly into other languages. But right now, no, not through this way. It won't translate it that way. Okay, so we talked about updating the video details. So this is where you can change things. This is where you can change permissions, comments, or auto-generate the captions files. This is the subtitles. If you want to, you can upload a translation file, but you have to create that translation file. So that's what I had on modifying, managing, and changing videos. I'm going to show you some cool things you can do now. So I'm going to go back to, I talked to you about if you were doing a training of a new employee and you wanted to see how much they retained. I'm going to go back into my videos, and I've got training videos with questions. So I'm going to
Okay,
let this play.
at this point of the training, we've gone through several things. We've talked about the videos, channels, peoples, and groups. Now we're going to give you a quick quiz to see how you've done on retention.
So I open up the quiz. Now I had to click open it up because I've seen this video before. If it was the first time I had seen this video, it would have automatically stopped. Oh, isn't that just delightful? Really? Nothing like live to have something potentially go wrong. Okay, open comprehension. Basically what it's doing, if this looks familiar to any of you that were on a couple of times ago, is it's using Microsoft Forms. Okay, so let me show you live how to do this. I'm gonna go into that video I just created for you all the webinar show off, and what I can do, stop that, interactivity. If you remember, I can add a form. So what it wants is it wants the form. So all I have to do is go back into my Office 365, open up forms, the authenticated, and let's do the webinar quiz. So I'm going to share so that I can get the address, copy that, go back over here. I'm going to paste that URL right there. I'm going to name this webinar, and I want this at 11 seconds. You notice that it just jumped it to that. I'm going to add it to the timeline. Now that's done. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page, and this should give me, I'm going to mute this. So you notice that little dot right there at 11. So what this will do is it should pop it up right there, automatically load it, because this was the first time, so that automatically loaded it. Now I have the webinar quiz. Is this true? Yes, it is. And then you can have the multiple choice. Again, you can set up forms how you want 2 plus 2, okay, it's worth that. Submit that. Once it's been submitted, then I can click on and continue to the video. So this is a way that you could do testing of people. So if you've got a new employee coming on, great, it's available. Continue on to the video. Now I can go to the next part so that you can have more, you can continue to have forms throughout the video to test their knowledge at different times throughout that. And then again, all you would have to do is go back to Microsoft Forms, go into the responses, and you would see there's now 3 responses, review the answers. Because they logged in, you would know who they were. So that was Michael Nelson, me again, and me again. I'm the one that did all of these. So that would be a way that you could test users' knowledge based upon a video there. Okay, close that up. We talked about showing the closed captioning. So again, let's go back into, I'll go into my videos and the webinar show off. We've got the transcript here. If I want to see captions, all I have to do is click the captioning.
Okay, we are now recording.
And that'll show up that way. Again, if you try, one thing to know, if you go into here and all you see is interactivity, I've got a video in here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. That doesn't have the transcript turned on. One of the things when you first upload a video, and there are times when you do this that it will not know that there was a language assigned to it. If that happens to you, nope, those are all in there. So if you find one though that doesn't have the transcript, all you have to do is go into the ellipses, update the details, and make sure that the video language is chosen to be English. Once you do that, it'll automatically start doing the transcription, and it will automatically show up as soon as it's done. You'll see the transcript show up. And you can see right now this particular one is taking a little bit longer. That other error that I had, my guess is we've got something happening in 365 right now. So that's closed captioning. Multi-language, we talked about multi-language. Now, one of the other things is once you've created a channel, it might be very useful to be able to see that channel in other areas. So I'm going to go into my teams, and I've got the sales and marketing and the webinar series. This is a channel, and if you notice, I added last night the webinars. So what this is doing is that's pulling in, let me again show you that if I go into stream, I go into channels, and I go into the webinars, you'll notice there's 7 videos in here. There's 1 person following. Click in here, and I have my 7 videos. If I go over to Teams, you'll notice I have the 7 webinars. So it brings over the information from Stream and embeds it into the easy way. And let me get rid of it, and then I'll do it again. Go ahead and remove that, yes. What I want to do is I want to add, and you just look for, I'm not seeing Stream here, so I'm going to go ahead and search for it. There we go, add Stream. And then it's going to say what channel. So you have to paste the link in. So all you do is you go in, I'm in my webinars, and I'll just take this channel, copy it, go back over, paste that, and it'll automatically grab, you notice that showed up. Webinars, going to name it webinar videos, save it. And now I've got the webinars videos that pops in automatically like that. So you can pull it into a Teams channel. You can also pull it into a SharePoint site. So I'm going to go into my main Office 365. I'm going to go into SharePoint, and I put this in my sales and marketing. And you'll notice I embedded it on the main page right here. That's using what's called a web part. That was very simple. You can just say add a new, I actually have to edit it over here, sorry. And then in here you can add a web part, but this was the web part that I added. The other thing that I did is I created a link right here on the left-hand side. Let me show you the difference. Right here, when I click on webinar channel, watch what happens. It takes me out of 365 and it linked me directly into the channel for webinars. The reason being is that this was a hyperlink, whereas this was a web part. A web part can embed a channel inside of your main page of the SharePoint site. So again, you can add it as a web part. You can make it a link over here. Alrighty, I'm gonna go back, close that up. Any questions so far on taking it into other parts of the Microsoft 365 ecosystem? Okay, I'm gonna jump back over and I'm gonna do the two next things are organizing your videos. So again, you've got your channels. It's very simple to create a channel. Just create channel and call it show off. Okay, this is going to be a company-wide channel or a group channel. If I've said I want a particular group, at this point, I have to go search for that group. Okay, let's say I wanted to make this only available to leadership. So if I make it company-wide, and by the way, a little caveat here, if I make it company-wide out of the gate, that is a done deal. It will always remain company-wide. You cannot undo that. If you wanted to make that channel private, you would actually have to go and delete the channel and create a new channel. If you create it as a group channel, you can go back in and make it available and make it a company-wide channel after the fact. That's one of the little oddities of this. So I'm going to go ahead and make this company-wide. I can add a logo here if I want to, and then I'm going to go ahead and create it. So it just gave a basic little image there. Now at this point, I can upload video files this way, or I can go over to my content, and this is a webinar show off. So I'll click in here, stop it, go in, add it to a channel, and I want to do a channel, and I want to do a webinar. So let's put that into the webinars channel, save that. Now when I go back into channels and I go into, oh, sorry, I put it in the wrong one. And let's go ahead and do channel show off. There we go, save it. Now all I have to do is go back into my channels, go into my show off, and you see that we have one video in there and nobody is currently following. So go in here, now I've got my video available that way. So any question on creating channels or organizing videos that way? Okay, final thing I'm going to show you are going into settings, clicking up into here. I am automatically in admin mode. Most of you probably would not be based upon the permissions that you have inside of Office 365. But in here I can do settings. So my settings, click on here, and one other thing you'll notice is that I don't have a default language set up. That's one of the reasons those videos did not automatically record. So I want to go ahead and select my language. I'll make it English, and then you have a region. So I'm going to do English, United States is my region. If there were a company policy, it would be in here. And then it's notifications. So if something's uploaded into one of the channels I'm following, it would give me an email notification. Go ahead and apply that. All of you will have those settings. Some of you may have additional settings. You may be able to see the admin settings. That's the admin settings for stream. So right now, Lisa and I are administrators. You've got spotlight videos to where you, that's on that splash screen where you had the video showing up screen. So this is the video where you've got these 4 windows right here. That's how you control that. Is you can choose what videos if you wanted to add different ones up there. You've got the live events, then you've got company policies. So you can have a link where it says any videos you create are owned by the company, and you can make it so that they actually have to say, yes, I accept the company policies. So that gives you the back end there. You can see usage details. That's how much of your total storage. You're at 518 gigabytes. Again, you can buy more than that, but it comes with the 500 by default, I believe is the number. Recycle bin, if somebody had deleted something, you could go put it back there. Again, groups, that is something that is done through Microsoft 365. So they say, hey, don't do that here. Comments are whether or not you allow them or whether they're restricted. Content creation, you can say videos can or cannot be. So right now, all users are currently allowed to upload. If I said no, then it could be, then I could deny that. The final is restrict company-wide channel. I would probably enable that so that you don't have a bunch of people willy-nilly creating a bunch of different channels. And then the default viewing permissions during the upload is you can say the default means by default it will always go to everyone, or you can say no, by default it goes to a group or to just one person. And then you've got more advanced things here. You'd want to get us involved if you're going to talk about data privacy. So that is what I had for you on Microsoft Stream. Do we have any questions? Okay, I will hang out for a couple of more minutes. Again, my email is mnelson@tlctech.com. Feel free to pop me an email. Question, let me see. Front of the video, when I did the trimming, remember the front end of a video was deleted. It was unclear if I could recreate and add to the front end to fit with the remainder of the video. So you're talking about slightly more advanced editing. Honestly, I do not know the exact answer to that. So we've got 2 seconds. So it did trim it. Let me see if stop that. So if I go into, no, I could replace the video, but I could not add another trim. So it's not, this one's not used for, this is not a video editing tool where you could merge several different videos together. There are some really powerful programs out there for that. I've actually downloaded a couple, I don't remember the name, but if you want to pop me an email, I'd be happy to help you find an answer to that one. Question, is Stream channel the same as a Teams channel? No. So a Streams channel is created. So Charles, groups are much more aligned with Teams. Channels are a different way. So remember, groups are how you define who has permissions to see videos. Channels are how you organize videos by content. So you cannot, a channel, you can say who has access to the channel, but you cannot say, so this is a company-wide channel. Let me see, let me cancel that one and go into one that's more L10. So if I go into here, this is a group channel in leadership. It can only be accessed by those members. So groups is an organizational unit through all of Office 365. You can send an email to a group. You can have a group on Teams. You can have a channel that's only accessible by a group within Teams. So groups are more of a security feature. A channel is how you organize videos. As long as, if you go back over to Teams, as long as the people who have permission to this channel have permission, and I'm sorry, Microsoft messed us up here because they called this a channel. A channel in Teams is not the same thing as a channel in Stream. Sorry that they use the same name. Microsoft kind of, Teams was created long before Stream, and channel was a very obvious thing to use for Stream. but they had already used it inside of Teams. Those are not the same things. You have a channel inside of Teams. You have a, which is how you organize team members. And then you have a channel that you can create in Stream. They are not the same thing. But once you're in a channel, you can add the videos. But again, this group would have to have permissions to the channel that I embedded into that group. I hope that answered your question. And if not, feel free to call into the office and ask them to transfer you over to me, because that might not be a quick and easy email exchange. So any other questions? And hey, ask all the questions you want, no problem. I love answering questions. Okay, so I don't see any other questions popping up, so feel free to send me an email or call and ask me questions. Always happy to help. I love showing off this stuff. I love the whole Microsoft 365 ecosystem. The next one that we're going to do in 2 weeks, actually on the website it said is going to be on Power Automate. I'm actually going to do it on a different topic this time because it's really, really cool, and that's going to be bookings. So if you've ever seen an email that says, want to book a time with me, click here, and it actually pulls up available calendar times, that's what Microsoft Bookings can do. It's really, really powerful, really, really cool. That's going to be our next webinar in 2 weeks on the 16th of September at 10 a.m. Thank you all for attending. Hope you enjoyed this, and this will be up on the website. Should be hopefully by Friday, but early next week at the latest. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you.